So we're going to use Django to collect wiping and imaging log files. Now Django runs in Python, so the first thing to do is to download Python and install it. That's pretty simple. And then I'm going to run this build script, which is in the comments. It's obviously only going to run in Windows, work in Windows. And first thing it does is check that Python's installed. Then it installs Django, it's actually already installed, so nothing to do there. Then it migrates Django to the new server. Let's actually go back and see that. Migrates it. If you don't do this, you'll get a warning nag every time you start the server. It's going to copy 3 files. Now these 2 are really configurations. This is the code that actually reads the posts from the data collection software and stores them in assets and serials, and we'll go into that later. Checking that the code is correct is quite a good idea before you start it, and this if there is anything wrong, will give you a core dump of what needs fixed, and then you start the server by running it like this, and there it is, ready to run. Could just show you running. So run the server. It's looking up, well, you can see I've done it before. It's looking up the serial number. I'll go into the way it works later. Looks up the serial number to get the asset number. Well, it's all been wiped now, so it's nothing there. So I'll just put it in, and this asset is 1809. Put that in, and then it posts all the information and says OK. Now here's the information it's posted. Okay, so all sorts of information there about the system and the operating system, versions, dates. If you run it a second time, it'll now find the asset ID and repost everything. Okay, so that's the way it works. Now the 3 files that were copied over there will be in the comments. First one is settings. You need to set that either to the name of your server, or this is just everything. This allows it to be moved around a bit. And the other thing you need to do is add the app, which was Webapp. And going back to the install, so we're starting a project called Imaging. Naming is really the most difficult thing in this, really. And then we start an app called Webapp. Okay, so that's the reason that's Webapp. URLs are just the paths that the post will use when it sends the data. Admin is kind of built in, and that was that migrate that we saw earlier. WS can be anything. In fact, it can be left out, in which case it's sort of HTTP server of choice /log.html. I just put in WS. Now this got nothing to do with the name of the app or anything like that. You can put anything you like there. And finally the code, which actually does the business. Again, look at it in the comments. First thing it does is looks up the asset, so it receives the post and changes it to text, opens a file in serials with the name of the serial with the serial number .text, reads it and sends it back in the return message. There's the return message. Various error trapping there. The logging is much the same. Specs a post, decodes it, splits it into lines. With split lines, a really useful function. That. Oops. And my particular code, and of course you can tweak this yourself, is expecting to see the first 3 lines: asset, state, that's imaging or wiping, and finally serial. The reason it sends serial again is it's logging it in the log file as well as in serials. It doesn't really do anything else. The only thing it does look is blank serial numbers, which does happen. If it's blank, it won't write the stub in serials. The stub in serials contains the asset number and the asset number and that's all. Goes into serials serial number .text, and that's it. Simple as that. Now I suggest you make this code your own and tweak it, modify it. You may load it straight into a database or into some cloud-based app, and next time we'll look into what's actually sending these messages. Okay.